Gratitude equals attitude. When you clawed yourself out of a deep ditch, when you develop a spiritual power, nothing in the material world could touch you. Look at the lotus. Where does it exist? It comes out of a stem and it exists above dirty water and it's never affected. Be very fucking diligent in your life. And that comes through sadhana. Sadhana is your practice every day, whether it's yoga, meditation, or whatever it is you do. The physical challenges that come with doing an Ironman or, you know, to me, that's a spiritual process too. That's what left the old John Joseph McGowan in the past. Did I slip up? Fuck yeah, I did. From 1988 to 1990, did I give up? Fuck no.
That becomes the rose. I mean, it's that whole thing that the Tao teaches us, isn't it? That out of the invisibleness, out of the nothingness, out of the space that has no name, it's the space that's doing nothing, but leaving nothing undone. The Tao does nothing and leaves nothing undone. And you are from the Tao. I'd like to just, for a few moments, speak about one more thought. I'd like to see you work at changing, to change the thought from notice me, to what Lao Tzu calls living in obscurity, becoming more obscure. We live in a celebrity-obsessed world, don't we? Look at me. Notice me. The Tao teaches something completely the opposite. Water again. The sea stays low. And because the sea stays low, all of the rivers and all of the streams empty into it. Because it stays humble. Because it stays in that place of just allowing everything to come to you. He was trying to teach us the important lesson of letting what we know is coming come to us. I practice this so much more now in my life than I did at one time. I can remember years ago, I had written a book called Your Erroneous Zones back in the 70s, and it stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for something like 27 months. And many weeks it would be #1, and then it would go down to #3, and then it would go to #2, and down to 7, and all of that. And I was doing the Tonight Show in those days on a regular basis, and so many of the other shows, Merv Griffin and Phil Donahue and Dinah Shore. I became like a regular on the Dinah Shore. I was like, you know, hobnobbing with Burt Lancaster folks, and what you do is you call and find out where you appear on the bestseller list for the following week on Wednesday. So you call up on Wednesday, not for the Sunday coming up, but for the following week. And I called home, and my ego was pretty strong, and I was very much into a lot of notice me. I really believe that true nobility is not about being better than anyone else now. It's about being better than you used to be. And I think I'm better than I used to be, and I know that I'm better than I used to be in every quality or every characteristic that I hold to be valuable. But in those days, I was into notice me. And I called home, and I had trained my wife to call the New York Times. She had this special number that she could call, and with a certain code, and she could find out where I was going to appear on the bestseller list the following week. So I called her up and I said, where am I on the bestseller list next week? You know, I was out in California doing something, and she said, you're not on the bestseller list.